Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, welcome. This week's Magical Monday video, we will continue to explore how to use astrology to manifest our best life. But before we dive into this week's topic, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you will be notified each time I upload a new video. We will continue to explore the houses and how the planets interact in each house. So this week we will explore the 7th house. And the 7th house describes your most intimate relationships. It is therefore traditionally the house of marriage and also of open enemies or frenemies. The house describes this house describes your experience of and approach to relationships. It shows what you project onto others and the type of partner you seek and attract. This might be very important for those that's like looking into their relationships, or if you're trying to see who you may partner up with in the future or near future. It reveals the motivations behind your attitudes towards partnerships. Because the 7th house is also that of open enemies or frenemies, it also describes the traps you make for yourself in your expectations of relationships and your contribution towards them. So you could be actually doing some self-sabotaging. You're setting yourself up in these situations and creating these enemies and how you react. So let's explore the planets in the 7th house. Now, when the sun is in your 7th house, you find your individuality through being in a relationship. You find your being. Your being is defined by the relationship you're in. Moon in your 7th house. Your attitude towards your partner constantly changes, and your relationships can be unstable at times. So your moon and you're showing up in your 7th house, a rocky relationship. This may explain why you may have some rocky relationships, because you could be happy one minute, low on the next. Mercury in the 7th house. You need intellectual stimulation in relationships, and you need to exchange ideas with many different people. Commitment doesn't come easily to you. So being in a committed relationship is not a goal. It may be a goal, but it's not as important to you. That's not something that you immediately seek out. When your Mercury is in your 7th house, you need intellectual stimulation before anything else can happen romantically, if you get the drift. Must stimulate the mind to stimulate another area. That's how you feel when your Mercury shows up in your 7th house, because you're all about Mercury is the planet of communication. Intellect is all here. It starts here. If they can't penetrate here, your brain, your intellect, you probably won't be enjoying things as much. Venus in your 7th house. You only feel fully alive and complete if you're involved in the relationship. So when your Venus is in your 7th house, you don't feel complete. Your partner, whoever you partner up with, makes you feel complete. Other than that, you kind of feel lost, maybe lost and alone. But you feel happiest in a relationship with a partner. Mars in your 7th house. You tend to rush into relationships and can come on so strongly that you frighten others away. So Mars in your 7th house, you dive right in. You don't even see the red flags. You don't care about the red flags. You just like all or nothing. And you're very assertive, and that scares people sometimes. So you might want to, if you have a Mars in your 7th house, it's natural for you to do that, but be mindful that you might be scaring off potential life partners by being so aggressive and so headstrong and so gung-ho. Jupiter in your 7th house. You are easy prey to anyone who promises you the world but fails to deliver. So this is like the hopeless romantic. They could say anything to you. They could say all the right things and you will just sop it up like a biscuit and sopping up gravy, or the juice from some greens, some collard greens or kale. You will just sop it up and absorb it because it's so good. So you're like an easy target. And these people that you attract generally make promises they have either no way of fulfilling or no intention of fulfilling. So if you have Jupiter in your 7th house, you might want to be a little bit more guarded about the people that you attract. Be a little bit more guarded with the relationships that you have, because you're gullible. Saturn in your 7th house. Relationships are serious business as far as you're concerned, and you can be frightened or getting too deeply involved. So Saturn in the 7th house, relationships you take them very seriously, whether they're platonic or romantic. It's like all or nothing, almost like Mars. And you could be easily frightened from a relationship, or you could like really lose yourself in a relationship when you have Saturn in your 7th house. Uranus in your 7th house. You need plenty of space and freedom in a relationship and won't stay around if it becomes lifeless. So Uranus in your 7th house, you need space. If you have Pisces in your 7th house and Uranus in your 7th house, you definitely need space. You need space and freedom. You might want to check and see if Aquarius is in there as well. Those are 2 signs I know for sure that like space and freedom in relationships. So Uranus in the 7th house, you need a lot of space. Uranus is a big planet, so it's expansion. So it needs that space. It needs freedom. You crave it. And you don't like clingy partners, because you ain't going to be clingy yourself. You like to be independent. You want an independent partner, but you guys can come together when necessary. You know, you have a life apart, but you have a life together. That's the type of relationship you will want when you have Uranus in your 7th house. And if a relationship starts becoming cold, you have a tendency to to dip out. Just like, yeah, this ain't it no more. I'm going to exit stage left. You have no problem doing that. None whatsoever. Neptune in your 7th house. Tending to wear rose-tinted glasses in matters of romance means that you are prone to disappointment when you realize that the person you're with is a normal human being. So when you have Neptune in your 7th house, you are a dreamer. You're the person that you're with. You kind of built up in your mind that there's this ultimate, maybe this is just an example, that there this great knight in shining armor, male or female, and they're here. You're going to have this fairy tale life with them. Yeah, you kind of build that up, and then reality hits, and you just like, oh, you human. You don't have superhuman powers. You're not Superman. You're not Spider-Man. You not Sir Lancelot. Wow, you ain't who I thought you was. And then that disappointment comes in. So when you have Neptune in your 7th house, your relationship is basically fantasy, something that you built up in your head. That's your tendency to do with relationships and the partners that you have. Pluto in your 7th house. Relationships have to be all or nothing as far as you're concerned. You're either in or you're out. That means yourself or your partner. You're either in or you're out. There's no in between. Jealousy and possessiveness can cause major problems. So if you are the jealous type in a relationship, or your partner is a jealous type, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for your partner if you are the jealous type and possessive. The relationship won't work. And if you're both jealous and possessive, yeah, it really ain't going to work. It just ain't. Because you're not going to trust each other. You feel like you own each other. And neither one of you are going to like that feeling from either one of either one. So that's what it's like when Pluto is in your 7th house. I hope you guys are enjoying the astrology series, especially the houses. We will get to the birth chart soon, but I want to get you guys familiar with the houses and all the major players involved. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified each time I upload a brand new video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.